name's FROMME and welcome to the Backwoodsman Institute. Well, what I'm doing here is I'm making grape juice. And grape juice is so easy to make, you really have no excuse not to make grape juice, other than if you don't have your own grapevines or something to harvest like that. But what you're going to need is your boiling water canner, because it's a high acid stuff. You can use the boiling water canner, your jars obviously, and lids, and another pot. What we're going to do in this other pot is we're going to make the syrup that goes in the jars. Now the syrup is just sugar and water. And like obviously you need the grapes. Now these grapes were harvested during the summer months, and I froze them because I didn't really have time to fool with anything right now. A lot of stuff going on. So I thought, well, I'll just freeze them. Like, the grapes work great, and I do this a lot. Grapes and blackberries and stuff like that, you could put in the freezer, freeze them, and then use them or work with them later on. So that's what I did here. I got the grapes out of the freezer and thawed them out, and that's what we're going to be using for grape juice. The one thing about the grape juice is the kids love it, and they drink a lot of it, and so it's so easy to make. Like I said, I always tell them, if they start feeling the cold coming on, drink some of the grape juice, because I don't know, there's something about it, whether the vitamin C or whatever's in it, either snaps them out of it or helps them get over the cold a lot quicker. So it's obviously pretty good for you, and like I said, there's no reason why, as easy it is, not to make it. So we'll go ahead and get started. First of all, I'm going to make my syrup, and what I do is the amount of sugar I put in there, you can make it, there's really no set amount of sugar per water. It's whatever your taste is. I don't like it to be that sweet, so I usually stick to maybe 2 cups per gallon of water. So I'm going to put 2 gallons of water in there, and then I'm going to put 4 cups of sugar in, and then get that water boiling just a little bit to dissolve the sugar real good, and then we're going to just cut the heat back down. So let me get going with that. 4 quarts to the gallon. So like I said, it's easy to figure out. 2 gallons, 8 quart jars of water. Now go ahead and get sugar, and like I said, 2 cups per gallon. I'll go ahead and get that in there. Okay, while we're waiting for the water to boil for the syrup, I'm going to go ahead and put the grapes in the jars. Now the amount of grapes, you just put them in there whole. I like to put at least 1.5 cups, so maybe 2 cups of grapes per jar. So that's what we're going to be working on. Okay, I got the water, like I said, the syrup, sugar on the water, starting to boil here. I got the grapes in the jars. Like I said, you just dump them in there whole. And now I'm going to take my lids, the rings, because of the rubber, I'm going to put them into this little pot here that has some warm water in it. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and turn my back burner off on that one, and we'll start ladling the water, some sugar into the jars. Now when you do the jars, get one out of here, you're just going to go up to the head space, right here like you would do. That's what you do normally for a boiling water canner. Yeah, that's kind of the way I do all my canning for my jars is a headspace there. So I'm just going to use the same old measuring cup. Scoop that out. Sugar and water syrup, you use that most for a lot of your canning for fruits. Like I said, there's no set recipe, just try it different ways, see what you like the best and make note of it, and that's what you develop your own recipes for your own stuff. Next thing I'm going to do is wipe the rim up, make sure there's nothing on there so it gets a good seal. You want to double check your jars too, to make sure there isn't no crack or no chip right on the top of it. Okay, set my lid. This little gadget right here is what they call a lid lifter. It's got a little magnet on the end of it that helps it. Just reach in there and grab the lids in. Makes it a lot easier to get out of the hot water. Okay, then go ahead and put the rings on it. Like I said, the ring just holds the lid in place till it seals, because you'll be taking the ring off once the lid, after the jar cools off, and you can reuse it. If you leave the ring on, it has a tendency to like corrode on the jar. Kind of ruins the jar and ruins the ring. And they don't even have to be held on there that tight. You don't want to, just want to snug them up a little bit. All they are is to hold that lid in place while it's boiling. Okay, they're all good and tight. Get this water going. Probably should have had it on already, but get that boiling. Once that's boiling, we'll put the jars down in boiling water. Now you can see that I got a good rolling boil going. Set my jars down in there. Make sure that the water was covering the lids. I'll pan in there a little closer, see if you guys can. Now you don't want too heavy a boil. You just want a nice gentle rolling boil, just like this one. So now that I got it down in there and it's boiling good, set the timer for 15 minutes. That's all that it takes, is 15 minutes. Go ahead and put the lid on. Like I said, I'll watch it and make sure it doesn't get too hard a boil. Get back with you in 15 minutes. Okay. Turn the stove off. Go ahead and get the jars up out of the water. Get it up out of the water. Take my handy dandy jar lifter. Go ahead and get them out of the let them cool off. Make sure that the jar's sealed. Be good to go. Okay, like I said, I'm going to let them cool off and I'll check, make sure the seal tucked on it and call it good. Now here I got a jar that was made from a previous batch. Go ahead and pop the lid on it. And, that smells good. Now, since you got the actual grapes in there, go ahead and what I use is the lid, kind of sift it out a little bit. Can't beat it. It's just too easy. You guys are going to have to do it. Catch you later.